Tell him Bill's on his way to take care of it.
Welcome to the audio conferencing center. Please. You're now joining the meeting.
And Zoning Commission meeting to order. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. I'll have that roll call, please.
Commissioner Alexander? Here. Commissioner Barlow?
Here.
Chairperson Gillette?
Here.
Commissioner Hassett?
Here.
Commissioner Hubbard?
Here.
Commissioner Jacks?
Here.
Commissioner Kelly?
Here.
Commissioner Martin?
Here.
Commissioner Morse?
Here.
And Commissioner Patillo. We have a quorum.
Thank you. I'll ask for the automated announcement, please.
Anyone who has not signed in, please do so at the table located in the lobby. Should anyone wish to speak, please complete a request to speak form, which is also located on the lobby table next to the sign-in sheet. A request to speak form must be completed for each item you would like to speak on. Please note, there are stairs on the right, left, and center aisles, and we ask that you use caution when using the stairs. There is also a ramp located to the audience's left. If anyone has written comments, exhibits, petitions, photos, or letters they intend to present at today's meeting, have 17 copies and give them to a staff member at the back of the auditorium. Staff member, please hold up your hand for the audience. If you do not have 17 copies, you may use the overhead camera to present your documents. Please place your documents on the podium and line it up with the arrows indicated. If you want your documentation to go on record, you must hand them to the clerk after your presentation with the agenda item number clearly marked on the documentation. Members of the public cannot speak to staff members that are seated at the tables with microphones during the meeting. If you have questions, please see the staff member located in the back of the auditorium. All speakers will be limited to 2 minutes to make their presentation statements. Everyone, please turn off all cell phones or place them on vibrate during the meeting. If you must take a call, please leave the meeting area and go outside to have your conversation. We also ask the audience to refrain from talking with one another during the presentations and discussions. Today, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hear public testimony and then forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. Everyone attending the meeting is asked to remember that the administrative building and campus are tobacco-free areas, which means no smoking is allowed from curb to curb. No food or drinks are allowed in the auditorium except for bottled water. If there are any items remaining on the agenda, the Commission will break for lunch for 1 hour per the Chairman's discretion.
Today, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hear public testimony and then forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. The items with a recommendation made by the Commission will be heard by the Board of Supervisors on Monday, April the 3rd, 2023, at 9:30 a.m. in this same location, with the exception of any continued items. Now I'd like to have a motion for approval of the February the 8th, 2023 Planning and Zoning minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion to approve and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Item number 1 is a request for an, oh no, sorry. Matthew Gunderson, you get to do that.
Item number 1 is an evaluation of a request for an extension of time for a special use permit for assessor's parcel number 402-32148 to allow for additional time for completion of the conditions of Board of Supervisors Resolution number 2022-040, allowing for a billboard in the Littlefield vicinity. The applicant has cited that the property is under new ownership and they are working with the Arizona Department of Transportation for the necessary approvals for the billboard. This will be the first extension of time for this special use permit. Staff recommends approval with all of the original conditions of Board of Supervisors Resolution 2022-040 with a new proposed expiration of March 7th, 2024.
Thank you. I will now open the public hearing. Does the applicant wish to speak? Are there any others who wish to speak on item number 1? Then I'll close the public hearing. Any commissioners have any questions regarding item number 1? Hearing none, I will call for a motion.
Motion to approve item 1 with staff recommendation.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Alexander, seconded by Commissioner Martin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Item number 2, Mr. Gunderson.
Item number 2 is an evaluation of a request for a petition of exception to allow for an increase in the spacing allowed between fire hydrants for Littlefield Heights, tract 3541 in the Littlefield vicinity. We have received a letter from the Beaver Dam Littlefield Fire District stating that the 1,000-foot proposed spacing is satisfactory. Staff recommends approval of the proposed petition of exception.
Thank you. The applicant is on the phone. Do you wish to speak at this time? Okay. Are there any others who wish to speak on item number 2?
Just answering questions I have by the commission.
Okay, thank you. Any commissioners have any questions for this?
I do.
Okay. Commissioner Barlow?
I just have concerns that this is setting a bad precedence.
Hello?
Hang on a second. You have a,
I have concerns that this is setting a bad precedence for all the other subdivisions of not having to do as many fire hydrants.
Commissioner Hubbard, did you have a question for the...
And 500 feet is the distance is supposed to be for fire hydrants, and I believe it shouldn't be changed to 1,000. In the area it's at, they say that you're going to use water tenders occasionally. So I think at 500 feet is good.
Any other commissioners? I'd like to ask you a question, Mr. Frisbee. Why are you asking to change the distance?
There's a delay between.
Mr. Frisbee, are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Okay, why are you asking to change the distance?
The reason we're asking is the road was improved back in about 1999, and we put the hydrants in at that time. We just didn't want to tear up the road, the intersection. There's only one hydrant that we're missing to be in compliance. And I also wanted to raise the issue of other subdivisions that are being completed in the area that have no fire hydrants whatsoever. It seems like it's a little arbitrary. You know, we're asking for relief for one, but I've got 4 subdivisions that are currently, the county's giving them roads, they're making them, naming the roads, they're 20 lot splits. There's not a fire hydrant on the road, and that's who we're trying to compete with. And I know, I've got 4 examples I want to show you, if I can, of subdivisions that are currently under development that are not going through the plat process through Mojave County. So I'd like to bring them up on the screen and show you these four pictures I took today.
I need to ask the attorney, is this really the venue for this?
Chairman, I think this is not in.
You guys think that?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Can't hear you now.
Chairman, this is not in the agenda. Okay. This is not in the agenda item. I will ask the Chairman that we are not going to talk about this.
Somebody's going to have to interpret, I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, so bringing up the other subdivisions isn't on the agenda, is what she was saying. The item before you is the for the exception, petition of exception for the fire hydrants. This is the venue that we present for exceptions. Any developer can come with exceptions to our standards or the standards that have been set forth by the county. And it happens quite often when they come with exceptions to those standards. Those standards are reviewed by our department, they're reviewed by our Public Works Department, and then if acceptable, we would make a recommendation to the Planning and Zoning Commission. So for example, on this one, we've reviewed it, our Public Works Department has reviewed it, and find it that it is an acceptable exception to the standard, and that's why we're presenting it to you today for your recommendation to the board as well.
So it remains an exception, though? This will not change the standard?
Madam Chair, that is correct.
Okay.
I have a question for staff.
Commissioner Martin, sorry.
Okay, I know the other subdivisions are not on the agenda, but I think I heard the applicant say that he's done this with his other subdivisions. I mean, is this, like Commissioner Barlow is indicating, setting precedents for?
No, I just asked that question, and the answer is no. It remains an exception.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Martin, that's correct. If this is an exception that the commission can decide to move forward with or no, on each subdivision, they have the opportunity to be able to apply for exceptions. It's within our regulations, we allow for exceptions. They go through a review process with the county. If we find that they are still meeting our standards or can still be applied, then we will make a recommendation for approval, which we are currently making a recommendation of approval. And then the commission can make that recommendation as well to the Board of Supervisors. But by approving this one today, the same standards would still apply for each other subdivision that goes before
Okay, and I couldn't hear the applicant clearly, but what is his reasoning for applying for this?
It's already paid.
If I can interpret what he said that because he would have to tear up the road in order to, is that correct?
Yes, and to tear up the road, and the fact that the fire department is willing to accept it, staff is willing to accept it, and I would ask, Mr. Chairman, that you pass the resolution as been presented.
I'm going to close the public hearing and ask, any commissioners have anything else that they want to say? Commissioner Kelly?
Yeah, Scott, you said it's not uncommon, right?
Madam Chair, Commissioner Kelly, no, it's not uncommon. Most subdivisions come forward with a few exceptions.
And we're just one step in this whole procedure, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other commissioners? Commissioner Hubbard?
The 500 feet is a standard. You're breaking a standard. And he has other areas that he wants to keep changing. He's going to keep this going on down the road. 500 feet should be it, period.
Chairman Gilletta, if I might just clarify one thing on Commissioner Kelly's question, is this typical? The exception process is typical. Generally, your fire hydrants are, as has been mentioned, at 500 feet, but a petition of exception is definitely a common practice that, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to call for a motion.
Chairperson Gillette, Commissioner Morse is online and he has a question or a comment.
Commissioner Morse?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Excuse me. In my experience in doing this for a number of years, it's the fire marshal that has the absolute say on spacing for fire hydrants. And based upon their recommendation, the the process either sets a 500-foot or a 400-foot or whatever the actual fire marshal approves. So I think in this case, we should leave it up to the fire marshal in his discretion.
I'm going to call for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve agenda item number 2.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Barlow, seconded by Commissioner Alexander. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
We have one opposed. It's so moved. Item number 3, Alex Bolin.
Item 3 is an evaluation of a request for a special use permit for assessor's parcel number 306-18163 to allow for an RV park in an AR2A agricultural residential 2-acre minimum lot size zone in the Golden Valley vicinity. Staff has received 1 letter of opposition. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. I'm going to open the public hearing. Is the applicant present? I have 2 people who are requesting to speak on this item, so ooh, that's interesting. There's no name on this one. And this one is Harold, is that Knob, N-O-B-B? Howard Knob. Mr. Knob, please give us your name, your address.
Yes, my name is Howard Noble.
Noble.
Our address is 1258 South Cortez Road in Golden Valley.
And what would you like to say? You have 3 minutes.
We live about a quarter mile from this location. I don't understand. I wish someone had said how many spaces there would be and why it was essential that they come down there. Without approval from you folks, they have already put in several spaces, run electricity, plumbing, everything. The wire is hanging on a pole ready to hook up to the electric lines. I don't know how they got permits to do that, if they did. And I don't think it's necessary to have one down in our area. It's a residential agriculture area. Everybody has animals, and there's 2 RV parks about 2.5, 3 miles from us out on Highway 68. So I see no reason for it to be there. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak on this subject? Yes. Please come to the podium. Your name and your address.
Robert Warmenhoven, 4854 Island Place. What I'd like to know is, if I wanted to live in Bullhead City or Lake Havasu, I would have bought a house there. I don't want this. And I don't think most of the people that are there want it. It's a small community. I want to keep it that way. There's already enough people that come on weekends from out of town. I don't think we need more traffic. And we don't get to vote for it. I get that. You guys do. And all I got to say is, if it gets voted in, follow the money, because that's what it's all about. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to close the public hearing. Does any commissioner have any questions?
I do.
Commissioner Martin?
Just clarifying, the applicant is not available for questions? Is that true?
I asked if he was here, and no one stood up.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
Madam Chair.
Okay, did you fill out a...
Yeah, I did. I didn't put my name.
You're the one who didn't put your name on it? Okay, I'll open the public hearing for 2 people, that's it. So would you like to come and speak? Your name and your address.
My name's Robert Flagg. I live at 1257 South Carrizo, which is directly across the street from the RV area. The reason I'm in here today is because the location that we have is all single-family homes in the area. In an RV park on a 2.5-acre lot, I estimated that 30 RVs could be put in there. And with an RV park stipulation, there's no restriction to how many RVs can go in. The owners of the property went in partners on it, and they wanted 2 RVs, which is why the 2 RV pads are already poured. And I don't mind the 2 RVs on the property, but this opens up where now if something happens to these 2 people and the land goes to somebody else, whoever buys the property, whoever inherits it, inherits an RV park and has the ability to put 20 or 30 or 40 RVs on this lot. My suggestion to you would be, if you could put a restriction on this. It is a 2-acre lot. They could have broke the lot up into 1-acre parcels and had 2 different RV locations. But I think the reason they did this is because now they only have to put 1 septic system in, 1 power pole. So they cut the cost of putting all the other separate amenities into the property. And I'd like to see on the zoning, if they could put a restriction that would be only 2 people limited, or 2 RVs limited to the lot, which is exactly what the county would do if they split the lot. Thank you.
Thank you. I think there was one other person.
Yes.
Chairperson Gillette, Commissioner Morse has a question.
Commissioner Morse?
Yes, I apologize, but I did notice that the applicant did ask for 2 RV spaces, and I think it would be prudent to allow the 2 RV spaces as requested, but no more.
Thank you. Anyone else? Commissioners? Then I'll ask for a motion.
Motion to deny.
Motion to deny by...
I'll second the motion.
Do I have a second? Second by Alexander. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I think we're going to have a roll call.
Okay. Commissioner Alexander?
Nay.
Commissioner Barlow?
Nay.
Chairperson Gillette? The motion on the floor is to deny the application.
Then I would...
No, I withdraw mine.
I said nay, I meant to deny.
Yes. Okay. And Commissioner Barlow?
Why are we getting double?
We're getting oh, there we go.
Okay,
Commissioner
the motion
Barlow?
is to deny the applicant.
Correct.
And I'm not voting for that, so a nay.
Nay, okay. Commissioner Hassett?
Hassett?
I'm nay.
Commissioner Hubbard?
Chairman Gillette, just to, if I may, just to make sure we're clear on this, the motion is to deny this. So a vote yes would be to deny it. A vote no would be to not vote in favor of that denial.
Right.
Wow.
Let's start over.
Okay, we're going to start over.
Well, you don't want to, if you don't want to deny, you say nay.
Okay. Commissioner Alexander?
I vote to deny.
Okay. Commissioner Barlow?
No.
Chairperson Gillette?
No.
Commissioner Hassett?
Nay.
Commissioner Hubbard?
Nay.
Commissioner Jacks?
No.
Commissioner Kelly?
I'm scared. No.
Commissioner Martin?
Deny.
Okay, so it's the nays have it, the motion fails.
Okay, I'm going to ask for another motion, and I would like for that motion to include two...
Commissioner Morse, I apologize. I'm sorry, Chairman. Were you for or against?
Against, please.
Thank you.
For 2 units to be placed on this property. So I'm asking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve this with only allowing 2 RVs.
A second.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Barlow, seconded by Commissioner Hubbard. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Item number 4, Matthew Gunderson.
Item number 4 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel number 217-03029 from an AR2A agricultural residential 2-acre minimum lot size zone to an AR agricultural residential zone to allow for a minor land division in the Golden Valley vicinity. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. I'll now open the public hearing. Is the applicant here, and do you wish to speak? Does anyone else wish to speak on this item? Hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Any commissioners have any questions? So I'll call for a motion.
Make a motion to approve per staff recommendations.
I'll second the motion.
A second? Alexander. I have a motion by Commissioner Jacks, seconded by Commissioner Alexander. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? So moved. Item number 5 is Amy Patz.
Item number 5 is an evaluation of a request for an amendment to the Mojave County General Plan from a high-density residential land use designation to a general commercial land use designation, and a rezone of assessor's parcel number 30629-008R from a C2H3A highway commercial 3-acre minimum lot size zone to a CMO commercial manufacturing open lot storage zone to allow for an open lot storage facility in the Golden Valley vicinity. As of today, staff has received 2 letters of opposition. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak on this subject? Is the applicant present?
Good morning, Honorable Chairman, Commissioners. My name is Kathy Tackett Hicks. I'm acting as the owner's agent. We did receive 2 letters of opposition from the same individual, but I just wanted to explain the application request a little further. So these individual owners have fronting property on 68, so the general plan designation from a high-density residential to commercial makes sense. They have commercial on both sides of them, but in the rear of the lot, there is some AR and AR-10A designations. This proposal would require a view obscuring fence against those residential properties, so that would be beneficial. But the only reason we have to go to a CMO is because this particular owner would like to have some storage for RVs, and they want to put up shade structures. It's the shade structures that have triggered this. With the C2H zoning, you can already put in lumber yards and contractors' areas and equipment rentals, and you can have storage on the site. But what triggered this was the fact that the owners wanted to put in some shade structures, so the RVs or boats or whatever would be protected from the weather. So I don't see it as too different from the existing uses of a C2H. We're in agreement with the staff recommendations, and I would ask for your support. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Do the commissioners have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve per staff recommendation.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martin. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Commissioner Hassett. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Item number 6, Melanie Standling.
Item number 6 is an evaluation of a request to rename a road located in the southwest quarter of Section 6, Township 19 North, Range 17 West, from Griffith Hall Road, also known as Hall Road, to Cryo Drive, located in the Golden Valley area. As of this time, we have received no objections to the proposed road renaming, and the staff recommends approval of the renaming from Griffith Hall Road or Hall Road to Cryo Drive, as outlined in the staff recommendations and subject to the standard conditions.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak? Or is the applicant present? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Does any commissioner have any questions on this item? Hearing none, I will ask for a motion.
Motion to approve per staff recommendation.
Second the motion.
I have a motion to approve by Commissioner Martin. I have seconded by Commissioner Hassett. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Item number 7, Amy Patsy.
Item number 7 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessors parcel numbers 329-08070 and 329-08071 from an R1-1A, single-family residential 1-acre minimum lot size zone, to an AR, agricultural residential zone, to allow for agricultural residential uses, including an RV as a temporary residence in the White Hills vicinity. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Do you wish to speak? Okay. Does anyone else wish to speak on this subject? Hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Does any commissioner have any questions?
I do.
Commissioner Martin.
So the way I understand it, if we approve the rezone, then the RV can be used as a temporary residence, possibly forever?
That's correct. It's renewable annually, and that's indefinite.
I think you were doing this in the past, and I just have a problem with this. I mean, shouldn't they be applying for a special use permit? But I know they need the zoning for that.
Chairperson Gillette, Commissioner Martin, that's correct. We don't have a special use permit to allow for an RV as a temporary residence. So the avenue to make that a possibility is to rezone to the agricultural residential zone, as those other parcels in the area have done.
And the, okay.
You say that there's other parcels that are doing this in this area?
Chairperson Gillette, yes, that is correct. There have been several lots in this area that have done the same thing over the past year or two.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to speak on this item? I think I already closed the public hearing, but I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Motion to deny.
I have a motion to deny by Commissioner Martin. Do I have a second? Hearing none, the motion fails. It seems to me that if this is something that's going on in that neighborhood, that everybody seems to be doing it,
I just think we're incentivizing mobile meth labs and, anything goes on properties.
They have to come back every year to get a renewal.
No, they don't.
No, yes, they do.
Oh, they have to come back every year for if we change the zoning.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, the AR zone, it's a use that's allowed essentially by right in the AR zone. We have several properties throughout the county that is zoned AR, and you can live in an RV in an AR zone with a temporary residence permit. You don't have to come back to the commission.
Right.
You'd have to come back to our staff. It's an administrative permit that we would issue annually to that RV, be able to live as a temporary residence.
Right.
This subdivision that they're proposing to change the zone in, I believe we did a few years ago, but it has, and I wish I could throw it up on the screen for you, but we're having some technical difficulties with making our computer with the screen, so we'll have to go without today. But if it is in your packets, and if you look in there, all the purple ones are the ones that we did rezone a few months and a few years ago. I believe there was hundreds of them that are rezoned to an AR, which is an agricultural residential zone. And it's not just for RV uses. It would be all the uses that are allowed in the AR zone, which is agricultural residential. It just so happens that the AR zone allows specifically for an RV to be lived in as a temporary residence. That's a use permitted by right with a permit.
I understand that. I just think the temporary use is done in such a way where it basically can be permanent. I mean, they apply I get it, pay $350 every year and live in the RV.
Yeah. So, Madam Chair, just to be clear, it's not so much that they're approving the use, but the rezone. So the rezone is what the commission is approving to allow for the AR agricultural residential uses. The permitting of an RV as a temporary use is already allowed throughout the county. That's not what the commission is necessarily approving. What you're approving is rezone.
To allow for
that. But they're rezoning for that specific purpose.
Right.
Thank you. Motion?
Yeah. Motion to approve with staff recommendations. Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Barlow, seconded by Commissioner Hassett. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
You were close.
So moved. Item number 8, Alex Bolin.
Item number 8 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel number 207-41012 from an AR 36A agricultural residential 36-acre minimum lot size zone to an AR 10A agricultural residential 10-acre minimum lot size zone to allow for a minor land division in the Yucca vicinity. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing. Is the applicant here? Is there anyone who wants to speak on this item? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any commissioners have any questions? Seeing none, I call for a motion.
Make a motion to approve per staff recommendations.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Jacks, seconded by Commissioner Hassett. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And did you say nay?
There's a delay.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So moved.
You're a tricky devil.
Commissioner Morris, that was we're in favor of the motion, correct?
Okay, item number 9, Alex Bolin.
Item 9 is an evaluation of a request for a special use permit for assessor's parcel numbers 06, 014 and 208-06033 through 036 to allow for off-road dirt bike tracks in a C2H highway commercial zone in the Yucca vicinity. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Anyone wishing to speak on this item? I'll close the public hearing. Does any commissioner have a question? Then I'll call for a motion.
Motion to approve per staff recommendation?
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martin, seconded by Commissioner Hassett. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Item number 10, Amy Patsy.
Item number 10 is an evaluation of a request for a rescission of Board of Supervisors Resolution Numbers 2005285 and 2005286, causing the properties to revert from an RO Single-Family Residential Manufactured Homes Prohibited Zone and an M Manufacturing Zone back to an RE Residential Recreation Zone, and rescind the preliminary plat approval for the properties located in the northwest quarter of Section 23, Township 16 North, Range 21 West, in the South Mojave Valley vicinity. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. I'm going to open the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Anyone wishing to speak on this subject? Then I'll close the public hearing. Any commissioners have any questions? Call for a motion.
Motion to approve item 10 with staff recommendations.
Second?
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Kelly, a second by Commissioner Jacks. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. And now we have item number 11. Staff report by Amy Patsy.
Item number 11 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessors parcel numbers 210-28007, 008, and 210-55008 from an AR Agricultural Residential Zone and an RE Residential Recreation Zone to an SDC Special Development Commercial Zone to allow for an RV park, outdoor concert venue, and RV storage in the Golden Shores vicinity. As of today, staff has received 26 letters of opposition, several of which were from the same property owners. Staff also received a folder of letters that was delivered to the meeting this morning. Of the 26 letters received previously, 9 were from property owners within 300 feet of the subject site. This equates to 15% of the property owners within 300 feet. There has been 1 letter of support received as well. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. I'm going to open the public hearing, and Mr. Farr is on the phone and wishes to speak.
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, my name's Jeff Farr. I'm here representing the property owner as the applicant today. I'm a land planner that has prepared the conceptual plans for this proposed project. We've worked closely with staff to determine the correct zoning for the uses proposed, which include luxury RV park, commercial use, a concert venue. We're seeking a recommendation for approval today and have staff support for this rezoning request.
Are there, that's a dumb question.
Just take a number.
All right, I have the list of people who wish to speak on this subject. So I'm going to call you, and I'm going to call 2 at a time. That way, the person is coming up to speak, and then there'll be another person waiting. I'm going to do that to save time. So if that's okay with you guys, here we go. Dean Thomas. And standing in the waiter is Mrs. Summers.
Standing on deck.
Good afternoon. Good morning.
We need your name and your phone number.
My name is Dean Thomas. My phone number is 818-518-0496.
Address.
And
your address, please.
Okay, 13083 San Xavier Drive, Topac, Arizona, 86436.
You have 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay, well, we live about a half mile from this proposed project, and one of the big problems is that there's no infrastructure to support this. The roads get flooded out up by I-40, and sometimes they're closed for up to three or 4 days. I work in Havasu, and if you have to go around through Needles, it really adds a lot of time to your drive. Plus, they're working on the bridge that goes from Needles to Arizona, and the wait there is tremendous. And also, we only have one store that's got about 2 aisles in it, and we got a small fire department. We have absolutely no police department. We have no sheriff department. So they also have live music at the 2 restaurants that we have, and we're about a half mile away, and we can hear it pretty loud at our house. So a concert venue really wouldn't be practical because it would totally disrupt the whole place, the whole neighborhood. And it's just we don't have the infrastructure mainly. And also with the water, our water pressure fluctuates if there's any small problem, let's say, and sometimes it's off for hours. And, you know, this would just put an unwanted strain on all the infrastructure that we do have, and it's just completely unnecessary. You know, it's just people trying to make money off us, and, you know, there's people on Facebook going, it's a done deal, you know, and it's stuff like that, you know, they're kind of arrogant about the whole thing. So that's what I have against it.
Thank you. And on deck, I have Catherine Parker. And you are Savannah Summers.
Yes. Hello. My name's Savannah Summers. My address is 5086 Mesa Drive, Topac, Arizona. I've lived in this town going on 5 years now. Me and my husband moved with our small children. We love the small town area. Our community is amazing. We look out for each other. This is going to demolish our economy. We already have a small seaside store. We already have a gas station that struggles to keep up with just the people coming in and out of our area going to Bullhead or the river and during the summertime. I'd like to speak about what he said. Our roads flood during monsoon season. There's times where all 3 roads in and out of our town are flooded, and there's times where we can't go to work. There's times people can't come home from work. The concert venue is going to create very loud noise. It's a huge venue that our town cannot handle. We're a very small, tight-knit group. The water company, has the water company been talked to about our water reserve? We live on water reserve, and we live on septics. We don't have running water. We don't have running sewer systems. The post office, has the post office been contacted? Our little post office is already popping at the seams with just what we bring in as our small town. What is this RV park going to bring into our now small post office that needs to be a bigger post office, and they can't? Has any of that been taken into consideration? The roads, our roads are not made for high traffic. Our roads are a smaller grade road. Are they going to be maintained, or are we as the taxpayers going to maintain them now? We ask for you guys to try to support us and hear what we're saying, because we're concerned about what our little town, what we do have in it, what we're now going to lose. Thank you very much.
Welcome. This should be Catherine Parker Bean, is that correct?
Catherine Parker Bean.
And I have Crystal Truby, T-R-U-B-E-Y, on deck.
I'm
Yes,
Catherine
ma'am.
Parker Bean. I live on 12540 El Mirage Drive into Golden Shores, or Topac. Been there 30 years. Our little town is very, very nice, and I really appreciate what she said, because I was going to say the same thing. So I don't think we need all this stuff in our community. It's just a perfect little community. We have our snowbirds come in, everything. So we don't need this big thing. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your applause. Okay, this should be Crystal.
Yeah.
And on deck should be Joy Bancroft.
Hi, my name is Crystal Truby. I'm a resident at 4556 East Linden. My telephone number is 928-234-0499. I am opposing the proposed concert venue RV park. Some of my major concerns are the long-term effects to our septic issues, infrastructure, water supply, and the impacts of the increased off-road vehicles that will be affecting our 4,000-acre wildlife refuge that surround our town. Where will the water be supplied by? We already have low water pressure to our homes. The display boards that are here up front are not representative to our town placement. There are no residential homes around that picture. There is no elementary school across the street. That is not our town. They couldn't even supply boards that could supply what they're going to be in our town, you know? They couldn't even make a proper board. They're proposing a concert venue. How are they going to handle the increase of people attending with water supply and septic concerns? I'm very concerned of the location. This is going to be directly across from residential homes and elementary school. Our town cannot support a venue of this size. We are a low-density residential town. Our post office is already feeling the effects of our growing community. The increase in residents, the traffic's on our roadways. Are they going to pay to widen our roadways? Because that will definitely be a concern. Not to mention the safety issues to our school. Is our local sheriff's office going to step up and be able to handle the concert venue, the increased people on the roads? Is the fire department able to handle the safety concerns when they're having concerts, the recreational visitors? How many spaces, how many residents will be living here? If the septic goes into the ground, how's that going to affect our contamination levels? Our town does not get the support that some other larger towns get to handle the issues, weather, maintenance, upgrades.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have Joy Bancroft, and I have Sandy King on deck.
Good morning, Commissioners and staff. My name is Joy Bancroft. I live on Linden in Golden Shores, Topak. And I know this is strictly a rezoning request, but please don't accept this. Yes, we see that it's very impressive, and we like progress in our little town. We've seen it the last couple of years. I mean, we're selling dirt for $20,000. So we're seeing a lot of progress. Maybe the water department could tell you they've had huge records in adding water meters to this community. We've seen a lot of new construction, we've seen a lot of new housing, we have a lot of really nice people coming in, and the community is staying the way we like it. And the progress is good. We'll take the revenue. We need it for our fire department. We have 4 restaurants, and I don't think we could take on anymore. This is mostly impressive, and wow, look at that beautiful picture of something that could happen like that. But this community, we live here for a reason, because we love the way the community is. We don't want it to get bigger and massive and this magnificent thing of this magnitude. We don't need it. And you can see by the people in the room and the opposition that you've gotten, you know, this is a big deal for us. So, Commissioners, please, we ask for our community, don't approve this. I know it's just a rezone and it has to go a lot further, but please don't accept this. We don't need this in our beautiful community. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think you have to wait till after.
You have to wait till your turn.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Sandy King. I live at 12939 South Apache Parkway in Golden Shores, Arizona, 86436.
Just 1 second. Philip Finch, you're on deck.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Thank you for allowing me to speak today. As we've heard, we're a very small community, very rural. I believe we're about 2 square miles. And I don't think we could handle this size of a facility to go in. It looks like a rendering that might have come out of Lake Havasu. Maybe that's where they should go. We don't have water right there. There should be houses right there. Anyway, my question should probably go to Mr. Farr. Let me ask all the questions and he can answer them. Where are you getting your water? Is this an owner-operated facility or a group of investors that are coming in that will probably never be there? They just want the money to come in? Will this facility allow full-time residents? My husband and I have traveled extensively across the country, and we owned a membership in a private camping association, and they have allowed full-time people to move in, and they have really destroyed the facility. So we were able to get out of that membership. That was a personal thing. How many RV spaces? How many storage spaces? From what I can see over here by the rendering, it looks like what we see when we go into Lake Havasu on Highway 95, before you get to like Lowe's and Home Depot, they're on the right. It's a horrible eyesore. We don't need that in our little community. The school is right across the street. I get kind of emotional. I don't even have grandkids in that school, but my husband and I teach pickleball to these little kids, and they're great kids. And I don't want them to grow up in a community where people are coming and going all the time. So we are against it. Thank you.
Thank you. Philip Finch.
Philip Finch, 13131 Shore Parkway, Topak, Arizona.
And I have Rick Dischinger is on deck. Okay.
I think I'm just going to be reiterating on what other people are talking about. We have a concern with the traffic there. Route 66 is right on the edge of this. It's my understanding Route 66 cannot be improved or anything for the influx of any traffic that's going to be coming into that. We do have the school, like she says, right across the street. We're concerned about the traffic there with the school. With the impact of people that have been coming into Topak, there's been quite a bit of development that's been going on. Our water supply, we do have enough water to accommodate the lots and everything that is there as of right now, but any additional building or developments or anything going on, we're going to run into a big problem down the road. The influx has been quite a bit over the last 3 years, and it seems to be moving up quite a bit. I would love to see you guys just vote this down. It's just not for our little town. So, thank you.
Thank you. And then, standing on deck is Kimberly James, and you are Mr. Dischinger.
Very close, Dischinger. Before I begin, I'd like to hand out to the staff, I have a petition in opposition from 207 members of our community. This wasn't given ahead of time. We didn't know what the procedure was, but they're all there. Also, I have copies of my remarks. If I could give it to your...
We will be just fine.
You'll be all right?
Yeah, we'll listen.
They're very good. My name is Rick Dischinger. I am the board chair for the Topak Golden Shores Sanitary District. I'm also a resident full-time at 4942 Mission Drive in Topak. My telephone number is 909-809-8165. I would like to also ask that my time be started again since I had to do introductions and paperwork. I would really like to hit on some really key issues. One is sewer. Obviously, if I'm the chair of the sanitary district, any kind of mitigation of refuse into the groundwater or into our soil at this point is very detrimental to our community. We have nitrate problems as it is right now in our water wells and are working closely to try to mitigate those issues. So water is is one big issue. The amount of water in that aquifer, while it may appear unlimited, it would not be unlimited if we tap in 150 new RV sites. Also, ingress and egress to this facility will be an impact to our community, people coming and going. It'll be a strain on our electrical supply. We often have blackouts. Do I get to ignore that?
Go ahead.
Thank you, I appreciate
How
that
many more minutes
very
would you
much.
like, Chairperson? One? Okay.
One, yes, one
Thank
more
you.
minute.
Okay, again, a strain on our electrical supply. I also want to make sure that the commission knows that there is a gas pipeline that goes right straight through the middle of this property, and nobody is allowed to do anything above or around that pipeline. How is this zoning going to affect that? That would be a major issue. Also, noise, obviously, the mitigation of dirt, water, sewer, the school area, all of these things would be greatly impacted by a thing like this. The rezoning really allows these people to do anything they want once we get down the road. That little poster right there changed in the 1 month notice that we had from a nice cute little drawing to now to that, of which we already knew or anticipated we're going to turn into the Lake Havasu project on Highway 95. I want to thank you for your time, and I would encourage you, please do not approve this rezoning. Thank you.
Thank you. Didn't I tell you not to applaud? Okay, Kimberly James is at the podium, and Don Lynch is on the deck.
Thank you. As you stated, my name is Kimberly James, 5279 Supine Drive in Topak. For physical representation, everyone here that's opposed to the project, could you please raise your hand?
Can you turn around and say it again?
I wanted you to see the representation of who's opposed to this project here with us today.
We figured.
Thank you. Well, now it's documented in a way.
Who they were for.
I was going to touch on the infrastructure issues with this project, but as you've already heard, they've been noted again and again. So I'll bring up the fact that I haven't been a longtime member. I moved here a month and a half ago to Topak, and I moved specifically to Topak. My partner and I looked at the surrounding areas. We had been in Laughlin. We've been in all over the country. We came here because it's a small town, because of the community. We're originally from small towns, and we love that we found that out here. Building this project would completely negate the purpose of why people live in Topak. I think that the zoning, the way it is currently, allows for building to be done. It allows for progress, but at a sustainable rate of growth in smaller projects. By allowing the rezoning, you open Pandora's box to the large types of commercial development that are what we are opposed to collectively. We like growth, but in a sustainable way, as you've heard. So basically, lining the pockets of a few should not come at the expense of the community and the simple and tranquil way of life. That's the reason we call Golden Shores and Topak home. And I do want to note that, Mr. Farr, at the beginning, you mentioned that you have the total support of your staff. Did you ever think to ask about the support from our community? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Who's on deck?
yeah, we have Don Lynch coming to the podium, and Diana Francis is on deck.
Good morning. My name's Don Lynch. I live at 12646 Golden Shores Parkway in Topak. All the people that spoke before me talked on all the issues about the water and all that. My concern is safety. You've got all these people added in the one little area, and everybody's going to have a side-by-side off-road vehicles. According to that, it's unlimited. People can just dart out from any direction. Okay, we've got elderly people that live in Topak, and we're not used to all the traffic, so my concern is safety. I think too many people in that confined spot is going to be dangerous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have Diana Francis at the podium, and Ryan Rodney, is that what that is? Anyway, on deck.
I'm Diana Francis. I live at 4919 Thule Drive in Golden Shores, Arizona. I bought my land in 1967, and I was 17 at the time. I've lived there full-time since 1980. I like the small community. It's not a town, we're a community, and we support each other as a rule. There's a little bickering here and there about things, but as a rule, somebody need help, that community is behind the rest of the community. We already have off-road vehicles. Off-road vehicles are supposed to be off the road, but on one occasion, about 2 months ago, out-of-towners are there with their off-road vehicles, no less than 20, roaring down the road. I did call and make a police report about it. They're off-road. What are they doing on the road? They couldn't have stopped if they had to. It makes it more unsafe. I request that you deny this petition to rezone. It's too many people. We don't have enough. I have my own well. I have solar, but I've been there for a really long time. When the water shuts down because of a broken line or whatever, our water company does the best they can to get it up and running. But we don't have enough water now for the community. They've got one working well in all of Golden Shores. One. It's not enough. And in the summertime, when people are trying to run swamp coolers, stay cool, and a line go out, we have no water. I share my water with my neighbors, but I don't go all around Golden Shores giving it out. I request that you deny this. It's opening up a big can of worms. We cannot sustain it in our little community. For me, I'm grandfathered in on a lot of stuff, and I'd claim that 100%. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I should have Mr., how do you pronounce your last name?
Ryan Rodney.
Rodney.
Yep. 3493 East Heights Boulevard, Lake Havasu City, 86404. Telephone number 949-351-3637. I just wanted to say that I support this project, and I think if it's anything like the Riverbound project on Highway 95, I think this is going to bring great jobs, it's going to bring great community, and we just want to work closely with the jurisdictions to make sure that everything moves forward smooth sailing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Do we have the applicant on the phone? I have some questions.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you listened to what these people are saying, correct?
Yes.
Have you answers for the questions?
Well, I do have answers. This is a rezoning process, and we will get to a site plan review which addresses a lot of these questions that have to do with traffic, that have to do with infrastructure, water. We're not at that point right now. We have a conceptual site plan. We're requesting the rezoning. We're requesting these types of proposed uses. So that level of detail will be addressed with the future county process. And I would defer to staff to add to that if they need to.
I have a question.
Okay, thank you. We're going to have some questions for you from the commissioners. So I'm going to start with Commissioner Martin.
My question to you is that you purchased this residential property with intention of commercial development. Wasn't there any other commercial property you could have purchased that would have accommodated this type of project better without disturbing residents?
Well, let me make it clear that I'm the applicant representing the property owner. I'm a planner, so I do community design and uses such as this. I'm not involved. I'm not a property owner. I'm not involved with the purchase of this property. I'm a consultant to our client who is looking at these proposed uses.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yeah, that's not an answer.
So I would just like to point out, excuse me, for the audience, that we are just one step in a process, a big process. And we're not here today about this. We're here about rezoning a parcel, which people have a right to request a rezone. That's the only thing that we're concerned with today, is rezoning a parcel. And I understand your compassion or your passion about any or all projects, but you guys are painting a really bleak picture of the Topak Golden Shores area. Like, I guess we should stop allowing any zoning changes there because there's no more water, you're out of utilities, is that correct? So, yeah, so we don't want to let anybody else move in, correct?
And no one else can improve their properties anymore.
And no one else can improve their properties, correct? So my point is this commission, we are only here to approve or disapprove zoning change. It doesn't approve this project or disapprove it. It just makes a zoning change. That's all they're requesting. That's all we can consider is the zoning change. So if you feel this passionate about this, you should probably go to the supervisors meeting this coming Monday because whatever our recommendation is, it goes back to the supervisors for their approval. So whether we approve it or disapprove it, the supervisors can trump our vote. You follow me? So we're just here for
We're going to ask for for the people in the audience to please stop and listen.
Yeah, we respected you. So all we're here for today is a zoning change, nothing else. There's nothing else at stake here.
Thank you. I come from a building background, and this is just the first step. There are many, 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 many steps that these people will have to go through before they will be able to build what they've got on this flyer. Ma'am, okay, come on, just 1 minute.
I'll be quick. I just want to say, yes, stop cancer when it starts. You don't wait till it's totally destroyed everything. Please deny this, please, for our community.
Thank you, and I close the public hearing. Our concern is the zoning. That's what we do. And even if we approve this, it goes to the supervisors because they're the ones who have the final say. So I'm going to call for the motion.
I will have to say something first to the people.
Okay, you want to talk? Go ahead. Commissioner Hubbard.
First off, I want to thank everybody for showing up. It's great for your community. I've been in communities like this, and the zoning thing is the first step, and we'll see what happens here.
Thank you. Now I call for a motion.
I make a motion to deny.
Second.
I have a motion to deny. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion to deny carries.
Please, no clapping, no clapping.
Okay, that we are done with that, and I would ask you please be quiet as you leave because the meeting is continuing, and don't talk to each other, just walk quietly out. And be grateful.
Don't leave yet. Everybody stay seated and listen to the rest of the meeting.
Okay, we are at item number 12, which is the commissioner's comments. Anyone have any comments they would like to make? Any requests for agenda items for future meetings?
Commissioner Morse would like to make a comment. Chairperson
Commissioner
Gillette?
Morris?
Yeah, I would just like to make a comment on the previous item in that it appears that the applicant did not make any attempt to meet with the community to discuss these issues before they brought it to the commission. And I think that would have been well advised in this instance. That's all I have to say.
I think that's true. Any requests for agenda items for future meetings from the commissioners? Okay, now we have a call to the public. Does anyone wish to speak under call to the public?
No, ma'am.
Sit down, she had.
She's first. State your name, state your address, start the timer.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
My name is Lori Sanders. My address is, it's a post office box.
Physical address.
I have no idea, and I'll tell you why. I'm a full-time resident of the RV park in Topak, so I don't really have a physical address.
Fire away.
I have a mailing address. And I only want to step up and say, on behalf of my community, thank you. I think you made the right decision, and we appreciate your time today very much.
Thank you.
It's not over.
I'm going to close the call to the public, and seeing that there's no further business to come before this board, this meeting is adjourned. Hot doggies.
Jeez.